Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breathe Motivation. My name is Anthony Hester, and I am your host for this show. So glad to join you this week. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I hope you guys are accomplishing everything you guys want to accomplish. My goal is to help you guys find purpose and passion in any way that I can in your life. So that's why I'm here. So last week we talked about assessing your life and assessing who you are to really find the best you. It's important that we take time to really sit back, think about who we are, and think about the things that we want to accomplish in life, and really understanding the values we have, the ideas that we have, the goals that we set, and why do we set them. You know, if you don't have a why, it's very hard for you to get up and go in the morning, right? So a lot of people live in autopilot and they just go and just drift aimlessly looking for something, and they don't know what they're searching for because they don't know who they are. So you've got to be able to assess your life, assess who you are, and come to the decision that you're going to be the best you can be. So let's start off with this week's definition, and that is defy. So openly resist or refuse to obey. So in the last 3-4 months, I've gone through like this just kind of change, or, you know, just this kind of, I don't know, you know, they talk about like the winter blues, or they talk about, you know, I don't know, winter, you know, going from fall to winter. It's just kind of a weird season. A lot of people, you know, tend to like hibernate. And I kind of feel like that's what I've been doing. You know, I took a little break away from Breathe Motivation, the podcast, really just to kind of, you know, recharge my batteries, really understand where I wanted this show to go and all these great things. And as I was thinking, and, you know, I've gone through a job change. So much stuff has gone on in the last year. It's crazy. But when it comes down to it, you know, I always look back and I look at the things that, you know, have, you know, changed positively in my life. There are a lot of great things that have happened in the last year, and there's been some struggles and there's been some obstacles. And what I've come down to is that we've all got to decide to defy all odds, right? If there is something that you want to accomplish in your life, you've got to be able to look at it, look what you know what the purpose is of that moment, and attack it. And a lot of us will sit back and hang back and hope that things will change. And myself included, I go through this every once in a while. You know, I look at, you know, obstacles, I look at struggles, and, you know, I look at things that are going on, and I'm like, man, you know, what am I going to do? How can I do this? How can I accomplish this? And I think we all can really, you know, one of the things that you can always do is get caught up in your mind. And, you know, I call it paralysis by analysis. I'm sure you guys have heard that from somewhere, at some point, right? But a lot of times we start to overthink our lives, and we start to overthink the things that we want to accomplish. And, you know, sometimes it's a huge fault of our own. We've got to be able to really understand that we are going to win in life if we choose to. You know, we all have a choice of success or failure, right? You know, there are going to be times where we fail and we fall miserably on our face, but there are going to be the choice of you either getting up and going at it again, or you throwing in the white towel and giving up, right? We all have that choice. It's interesting to see all of the people that are successful, or the people that we, you know, or that we see every day that are, we're told are successful, right? These are people that are just working hard towards whatever they do. And the interesting thing is that they all go through struggles just like us. And I think sometimes we put people on a pedestal and say, hey, you know, this person's amazing. There's no way I could be that person. There's no way I can accomplish what they're going to accomplish, right? So depending on what your dream is and what your goal is, you've got to be able to look at it and say, hey, can I accomplish this, right? And, you know, a lot of the times we'll ask that question to ourselves, and then we'll ask people around us, right? We'll kind of take a survey of our friends, our family, you know, co-workers, whoever that looks like, right? And we say, you know, hey, here's my dream. Do you think I can accomplish this? And that's the trouble in life, is that when we start to, you know, really ask people around us to, you know, have this idea of, hey, are we, you know, will this be successful? A lot of people are probably going to tell you no, right? And the reason why people tell you no so often is because that's not their dream or their purpose or their goal, right? Your goal is to accomplish that X, you know, X, Y, and Z. You want to accomplish that. But other people want to accomplish other things, and they might not enjoy the same things that you do. And that comes back down to that test that I'm telling you guys. You guys have to be able to assess yourself and really understand when you ask these questions. It's great to get at people's opinions, but also be cautious that that opinion or that thought process is going to overtake your mind sometimes. So you've got to be able to understand that there are going to be struggles, there are going to be obstacles. And though, oftentimes it starts from the very beginning. It starts with this idea within your mind, right? You have this goal, you have this aspiration, and you say, man, I can do this, right? And then you start to go and you start to do things, and then, you start to see a little speed bump, right? You hit a speed bump and it's not going as good as you want it to be, right? Now, some people will hit that speed bump, learn, and keep going. And then other people will hit that speed bump and it'll take them forever to start going again, or they never start again. That's the thing about life, is that we all have a choice to continue to move forward. And we've all got to be able to have that idea in our mind that we can move forward. And I want you guys to know that you can move forward. There are so many things in life, there are so many aspects of life that you can be successful in. But you've got to be open to that success within yourself, right? A lot of you guys are stopped by the idea that, so-and-so didn't approve it, so it's got to be crazy, right? How many of you guys have given up on something because somebody said, oh, that'll never work? Or, hey, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do something like that? I know I have. And I get so, I used to get so frustrated because I wanted to accomplish something and accomplish this goal of helping people find their purpose and passion. People are like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Why would you do that? And I used to think, oh, maybe I am crazy. Maybe I can't help people, So I would doubt myself. And that's the thing in life, is you've got to be able to push through and be able to do the things that you want to do and not worry about what others think. And stop forcing yourself to, really, take these ideas and say, man, well, I can't do it, right? You've got to be able to stand up and keep going. And that was something that I realized in the last several months was, as I turned 30, I was like, man, I'm 30 years old. I don't know how, I've got so much time to live. I got to accomplish all these things, right? And I didn't really have a clear sense of where I was going, right? And I think a lot of us still kind of struggle with that no matter what, right? Life is, kind of this idea, and you're trying to figure out life, and I think we all are trying to figure out life. Now, where some people really come across is, you see these successful people, and you see successful people in your life. These are people that just, said, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go at it. And the crazy thing about it is they probably have just as much fear, or they're just as scared of things happening, that aren't going to go right, but they take the chance. We've all got to be able to take the chance and be, willing to understand that, one, you're going to learn so much from this process. Things might fail, and a lot of times things do fail, but it's what you learn that you pick up and you go forward and get better from it, right? So it might not be the best opportunity, or, this thing happened and you hit a speed bump. You've got to be able to get up and start going and continue to go no matter what, right? Now, one thing I would also tell you, and I've done this myself, was, I'm doing something and I'm like, hey, I got to go after this. I want to go after this goal. And, I hit a speed bump and I'm like, oh, okay, well, man, I guess I just don't want to do it anymore. You've got to be able to find something that you are passionate about, things that you enjoy doing, right? If you don't enjoy doing it, why do you do it, right? That's where most people struggle. And that's where people hit these speed bumps and then they just quit, right? There's been tons of things that I've quit at because, one, I just didn't enjoy it. And I probably stayed in it a little bit too long and really just, went in the circle of trying to make it work because I wanted it to work, but it didn't work, right? And it was not going to work. So I had to question myself and say, hey, is this the right thing that I want to do? Is this something that I really want to do? Is this something I really enjoy doing? And if I do enjoy doing it, guess what? I'm probably more likely to get up, get my teeth kicked in and still go after it and still really just resilience, just be resilient and go after what I want, right? We've got to be resilient. We've got to be, focused. We've got to be driven. And the things that are going to drive you are things that you actually like and enjoy doing. And I think that's where we all get so lost in it, right? And we start to really kind of dwell on the past, from past experiences. If we failed on something, we're like, man, I've already failed at something. I mean, it's bound to happen again. So we've got to be able to change that message in our mind, is that, great, something didn't work out and I learned this lesson from it, and this is why it's going to work out now, right? There are things that I have done in the past that didn't work out, that weren't great. But guess what? It taught me to be better and to go forward, right? And now I'm doing a lot better in these areas that I wanted to, right? And I kept this dream alive, and you've got to be able to keep that dream alive. If you really want something bad enough, you're going to go out and get it. And you've got to know that. But you've got to be able to let go of the fear, right? Let go of the past, right? That's where fear comes from, is the past experiences, things that have gone wrong before. You've got to be able to look at the past, learn some lessons, and know what the lessons you were to learn it, and then move forward, right? Stop fearing life. Stop fearing your dreams, right? If you really want something, go after it. Defy the odds, because everybody's going to tell you, hey, you're crazy. That's not going to work. You can't do this because it's not safe, right? Now, I don't want you guys to go out and get hurt or, obviously, put yourselves in a situation where it's not going to work or, things are not going to happen, right? You've got to be smart about what you do, but at the same time, you've got to be able to take risks and know that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm going to take some risks and I'm going to find success within that. You've got to be able to push through that fear. You've got to be able to push through that worry, right? That was what caused my anxiety, was all these things that I was so worried about. I was worried about what, if this happened, what would happen here? Or what if this happened? What would I do? Right? And I would go through this every day mentally in my head. Every day I was driving myself crazy because I was always wondering about the what ifs, right? But the time that I decided to take control of my thoughts and say, hey, I'm done with the what ifs, right? I've got to be able to take chances on the things that I love and what I want to do, right? I want to be able to help people in whatever form or fashion I can. So I started a podcast, because I know that there are people that struggle with things daily. And every once in a while, you just want to hear things, that other people are going through it. Trust me, this podcast, all these things I talk about, I've gone through myself personally. And I continue to go through them. But I want to be able to be vulnerable and be able to share this so that maybe somebody will pick this up and listen to it and say, hey, you know what? That really helped me. And that's the great thing about this, is it's a community to be able to help each other to get better and chase our dreams. Because more and more people will tell you that's impossible, right? You can't do this because of X, Y, and Z, right? 9 times out of 10, people are going to tell you can't do something, right? You've got to be able to have support. And that's why I created this podcast and this, the website and all these things. I want to be able to reach out and do that and share that, hey, I got your back, right? Sometimes we just need the people that root us on and cheer us on, right? We got to find that positive, arena, those positive people that are going to lift you up. There are going to be times where you get knocked down and it's going to be tough, but you've got somebody saying, hey, you got this. I got your back, right? People are always going to tell you you can't do something. But just know in your mind that there are people that are going to help you along the way, that are going to push you forward, but you've got to decide to push yourself forward first. Take chances, take risks, take an opportunity to really do what you really love in life, and you'll reap the reward. You've just got to believe. You've got to have this big, dumb belief that you can accomplish whatever you set out to do, right? If you want to change the world, go out there and change it. Trust me, you can do it, and we can all do it. And that's the thing. We can all do it, but we all have a choice of whether we're going to or not. You hear this, the saying, talk the talk or walk the, can you talk the talk? Everybody can talk the talk, but are you going to walk the walk, right? I think that's important for us to understand, is take action. The only way that you're going to be successful in life is to take action. And there's been many times where I'll just sit back and I'd say, man, I can do this. And I'll talk and talk and talk and say, hey, I got this. I'm going to do it. And then I take no action. And guess what? I'm miserable because I didn't take action towards what I wanted. So the time is now for you to get up, defy all odds, defy all obstacles that are thrown in your head from yourself, from the people that you surround yourself with, from all the negativity in the world, right? I look at everything. There's so many negative things in the world. Start doing something positive for yourself. Start doing things positive for other people and watch things change around you. So let me leave you with this quote. Never let the odds keep you from doing what you know in your heart you were meant to do. And that's anonymous. So go out there, be the best you can be for yourself. Go out and chase your dreams. Nothing in this life is too crazy, right? Just go out and do that. Change the world if that's what you want to do. And just know that I got your back. So follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Breathe Motivate. Like our page on Facebook, Breathe Motivation. Check out our website, breathemotivation.com. And you can reach out to me on my email, anthonyhester@breathemotivation.com. I love hearing from you guys, so keep the messages coming. I really do appreciate that. And as always, remember to breathe motivation and exhale success. And I'll see you next week. Thanks.